Welcome back, people. This is another edition of Sidewalk Conversations. Now, we were on a 2-week lockdown where the curfew was to 6 p.m. and we couldn't be out on the sidewalk like that. So we decided to wait until the curfew got lifted a bit. So now we are back out here and I have my two friends of them, Carl and Bess, to my left, and to my far left, Mr. Kadeem Joseph. And today, we are not going to be talking about the double standards within women when it comes to dating. We are talking about men's health. What happened? The last time for the double standards and dating within women, right? Some men may really reserve who they say what they have to say, but we're going on a different topic today. You understand? Men's health, and it's a topic that I hold dear to me along with mental health, but something I find that we need to talk about really and truly, because as men, I find that we don't take our health seriously, and the ones who do, we don't pass on that type of spunk, that enthusiasm to the ones who don't, in terms of you should get yourself checked out and so forth. So we're gonna start the conversation off right there and then. Do you think it's a good thing to have positive and healthy eating habits when it comes to us men? Let me throw that question out there.
Of course. Okay, for instance, look at it right now with COVID and the pandemic. There are a lot of articles or news out there that are saying that persons with poor eating, people who are obese, tend to be a lot of the persons who are higher risk for seeing the negative side effects of COVID, especially death, of course. There's a lot of news reports and news articles out there that say a lot of the deaths in certain countries have high obesity. A lot of those persons are the ones that are actually dying of COVID. So why not eat properly? Why not try to, if it's the case, they say, okay, I'm accustomed eating, my Kentucky, accustomed eating my pasta and that kind of stuff. But once a week, I'm going to replace unhealthy food. And try some healthy alternatives. And try to fit it in. And try to work with it throughout the day.
You see, I'm glad that you mentioned that, because that was one of my next questions. Like, what are some of the foods that deplete our health in that way? So, we as a Caribbean society, or Antiguans on a whole, we love the junk food, we love the shawarma, we love the Kentucky, but we don't want to sit down and say we eat a proper meal, a proper, rice with some veg, and you have the occasional chicken in there. Or sometimes if you don't want the chicken, you substitute with fish and so forth. So that was something good that you highlighted. You jumped the gun. But Kadeem, what do you have to say about that?
I think it's important. I think men in general, just lifestyle choices can be hard to discuss because of how we get socialized.
Yeah.
So men, because eat meat. You have to have a lot of meat, you have to have a lot of starch. You have to, like, when somebody is bringing you your food, it's a certain sort of lifestyle, and not even just what you eat, but what you drink too. A lot of men, you have to be able to handle your liquor and things like that. And I think we don't talk enough about men eating right, staying healthy, getting checkups and so on, because that's all a part of like just having a well-rounded lifestyle. So you're trying to be a breadwinner, and at the end of the day, you're not eating right to sustain, your family and all of that.
See, okay. Go ahead.
I believe it's more to that, but for another spin on it, we can actually look at it how countries in the Caribbean or countries in the East tend to look at the American society and adopt their way of eating. America has one of the highest rates of obesity in the world.
Yeah, we know that.
And everybody watch what they see on television and they adopt how the Americans eat. Everybody want to eat sausage, eggs. They want to have cereal. And they don't want the cheaper cereal. They want the Kellogg's. When they don't even read the back of them boxes them now. Them boxes say about 40 grams of sugar and everything. And them stuff make you fat. If you're eating them, people be eating a box of cereal in 2 days. So they're buying cereal on top of cereal on top of cereal, and they're just chugging it down, and in a week it's done.
No, let me ask my next question, because you and Kadeem, y'all on the roll today, jumping on questions that I have here that y'all and yourself know. So Kadeem, you mentioned about being a breadwinner and learning how to control your liquor and so forth. One of the questions I have was, do you think that excessive drinking can cause problems in your health? And we come from a society, a culture where it's rum, it's fetting, and it's partying, you know. We find an excuse to drink. It could be midweek, you want to have a drink. It could be Friday, you want to have a drink. You have a bad day at work, you come home, you want to have a drink. It could be that bad, you say, my teeth way, I may go and drink. Yeah. The job and all that kind of stuff. So how detrimental is that, for one? And the second thing, do you think that, what's the question? Oh gosh, I have the question. Lord, Randy just come with the knives along with the weed whacker. Lord. Let me go before and find the question before right up. You see them someday? Lord. God. Okay, answer that question. If you think that drinking excessively can cause a depletion in your health like that.
Well, you know, with alcohol, like anything else, it's moderation. You know, it's knowing your limit and understanding how much you can drink. I mean, lots of health experts will tell you that they don't want you drinking alcohol at all. But we're humans, and you know, humans like the effect that alcohol brings, and they'll drink. I think moderation is important.
Yeah.
Over time, alcohol can cause a lot of damage to not only your liver, but for your brain cells. It has a deleterious effect over time. You know, and if you drink a lot of alcohol in one go, like a binge drinker, you see even more damaging effects. So it's moderation. You know. Yeah. I cringe when people go to the fests and carnival and it's all you can drink, you know, because some people take it as a challenge. So you're drinking and you make very negative decisions sometimes as well when you're drinking. So it's a lot, and especially for men, some men don't have inhibitions in general, and when you drink, it's even worse. So a lot of these troublesome situations that men would land themselves in happen when they're intoxicated, and you just don't want to be in that sort of situation.
Okay. So let me throw this next question out there. Have any one of you ever been in a situation where you had to change your diet because of some health scare, something that you weren't in agreement with your body in that regard, you know? So anyone of you wanna say if y'all had that experience? Well, what happened was,
for me in particular, you know, I was one of those persons that ate a lot of food in the nights, and I indulged a lot. Shawarma, hamburgers, love me some fried chicken and wings, fried chicken and French fries on a Friday night. The pepper sauce on it, and you know, all that not good for you. Pepper sauce late at night, fried chicken, the French fries, the shawarma, all that you indulge in. I eating at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, sometimes 10 o'clock because they know they open late. And you're lying the whole night, so you're eating them stuff. Over time, I realized I started to get like acid. After I eat something in the morning, you feel like a churning in your stomach. Feel uncomfortable. So you know, the quick fix is, what is it, Pepto-Bismol?
Yeah, and the Deca.
Or Deca.
Yeah. Hey, people, the Deca is, you have acid reflux to get on bottle of Deca.
Yeah. That's the quick fix. And the Deca cheap. A bottle of Deca, the cheapest one is like $5-6. Exactly. So that was like a quick fix, just good to go. It gets so bad now that Christmas gone, I couldn't drink. Deca wasn't working. I tried something from the UK, Gastrol or something like that. That wasn't working either. Nothing was working. It got to the point where I felt the acid coming up to my throat. It felt so uncomfortable. But at the same time now, I couldn't eat certain food. Because when I eat certain food, my whole body feels like it's on fire. So because I couldn't eat certain food now, or I didn't put myself in a position to feel uncomfortable every day, I stopped eating certain things and I lost weight. So I got slimmer. Making people ask you, you okay? You know?
Things wrong.
Exactly.
When you say you had a maga, I get a knuckle. Can you say when you lose weight, you know, a knuckle you get down. Kadim, you sip long, what happened?
I feel like we just need to really look at what we eat and actually look back in the week and say, okay, I think I eat too much of this. Just replace it with something that's a little bit more healthy.
Yeah.
It's only for you, health is wealth.
Yeah.
To benefit you.
True.
You need help for anything you want to achieve in life.
I mean, for me, I never had like issues with eating or food, let me say, I never had issues with gaining weight. You know, because
you're magra, you're skinny, you're lanky.
You know, so I never had those worries. I ate whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. Coming down to late teens, early 20s, thereabout, I realized I was lactose intolerant, like starting to become lactose intolerant. And that was like, okay, I can't drink milk like that. I can't drink smoothies with milk in there like that. I mean, I was supposed to cut out processed cheese and so on. But that would mean stop eating pizza and macaroni pie, shepherd's pie, lasagna, and everything else.
Sal, you call the holy grail right there now.
So you know that now?
Yeah, you know that. Me lactose though, me tell you, right? Yo, there's something must now.
So I mean, I don't have a reaction when I eat processed food, processed cheese like that. But that's the only like major issue I've had with food and how food works with me. So no, thankfully, no issues with it. Minus the 20 pounds I put on.
Alright. Let me share my experience where it was something similar to Carlin. I realized during the course of maybe December, I started to feel like these nasty chest pains. My stomach would churn late in the night, and I'm wondering what's happening to me. And I had to sit back and look at what I ate. I was eating a lot of bread, a lot of ketchup, and months before eating spicy food, burgers, pizzas, and it was just ridiculously crazy. So after examining certain things, I realized I had to cut out certain things out of my diet. I couldn't eat bread for a while, so I had to be eating crackers and taco wraps and all them kind of stuff. They changed on my diet, a lot of water, and slowly but surely I got back around to eating bread, but I still have certain side effects where my stomach would make noise and all them kind of stuff, but I had to learn to come off of it and then go back on slowly but surely. But what really helped, like eating a lot of veg, and it's very important and vital to eat a lot of veg, a lot of greens. And for the persons who don't love yam vegetables, yam vegetables, sweet potato, yam, spinach, dashi, whatever it be that come from the earth that tastes good, pumpkin, yam on, enough to kill you.
No, I forgot something. I did have an issue with my stomach like years ago. It continues now, but not on the same level. So I was going to take CXC, and this is perhaps the first time I realized I even did it. Years ago.
15.
More like 10.
Wow.
You're trying to make the man sound old?
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. What you should be worried about is that we look the same age.
Oh!
I'm not sure about that.
Oh!
Anyways, so when I study, I realize I don't eat a lot because I'm focused on the task I had, you know. So I'd be studying for hours and hours on end, not eating, you know. And then your parents will tell you, you know, eat and take get gas.
Yeah.
I mean, listen. Look, let me tell you, right? First day CX, I'm nearly dead. I missed a whole exam because of it. Had to be rushed to the doctor. You know, bunch of fluids. It's a lot.
Yeah.
But let's just say eating a lot is bad.
Yeah.
But eating too little as well is bad, and it has its own deleterious effects.
Scene. So this is coming on to my final question. Like 2 questions posed in one. We live in a society where men don't take their health seriously, and it's not partially shunned upon, but at the same time too, it's not something that is pushed forward like that. Like, where do you think that stigma comes from, where we just don't care, for one? And what would be the advice going forward you would give to men who need to take their health serious, need to brisk up and really see it as hey, if I don't take care of myself, nobody will. So what advice would you admonish, and where would you think that whole don't care mentality comes from when it comes with our health?
You know, I think it's just socialization. I think, especially in the Caribbean, the world over, as a guy, you don't complain You don't you don't show weakness.
Yeah.
And I think going to the doctor has become a form of showing that you're weak. You know, if you feel pain, you bear it out. You know, while you're complaining.
Yeah.
And sadly, a lot of men are suffering because of that. And you brought up the pandemic. One of the studies that are presently going on is studying like how men have been throughout this pandemic. And there's a high mortality rate, or the mortality rate among men is higher. And doctors have posited that it's because men, one, they go to the doctor later than women would, and they don't look, or they don't go to the doctor at all.
Yeah.
You know, so there are two different reasons right there. And men don't go for checkups, so they may have underlying diseases, but they don't even know.
True.
You know, so I think it's a societal thing. We're raised to think that we're immortal as men, and if we feel something, should I do it? You know. And my advice is, you know, again, to be a breadwinner, you have to be good. You know, if you want to provide for yourself and your family, you have to be good, and that comes with taking care of yourself, making healthier choices, going to the doctor, exercising, and just being aware of how your life is being impacted by your actions, and that includes food, drinks, whatever.
Carlon?
I look at it from a different angle. I would say that a lot of people suffer in silence, and a lot of the times, you know, in society right now, we don't look at people, even our friends, as asking questions, finding out exactly what's going on with them. So sometimes you see somebody smiling and they're in pain.
Yeah.
You know, find out, speak to them. You can, you know, try to educate your friends, try to educate people in general about, you know, healthy options or things that are going on. Find out from them, you know, see where you can help them. Because you never know, the help that you might give them might just, you know, improve their lives. And at the same time, that in a sense is like a connection. And our lives are like intertwined in a sense.
Yeah.
So your help to them will lead them to helping somebody else.
Alright. So fellas, you've all said enough, and a handful, a mouthful. I thank you for coming onto Sidewalk Conversations again. I hope y'all come back very soon and we have interesting topic again. I'm gonna say back there in my yard called lemonade, yeah.
Of course,
and,
of course.
Tam brand juice. Make I know something, right?
Tam brand.
If I want Kai Kadim and females and them, eggy tam brand juice. Not just
tamarind.
Tam brand. And not just any tam brand juice, you understand? You have to make it real good and make sure you see the pulp and everything in the bottom. So yeah. So that's it for this week of Sidewalk Conversations, and we are out. See you next week.